A little boy and girl are missing in a wooded area in Pictou County. A search is underway right now for the two, last seen this morning.
4-year-old Jack Sullivan and 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan were reported missing around 10 this morning. That search is taking place on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station, which is just southwest of New Glasgow. Dozens of people are involved with that search. It's believed they left a home on the Gairloch Road. A search began shortly after. Multiple agencies are trying to find the two children. That includes 2 helicopters. Ground search and rescue are also combing the area on foot, and police dogs are on the scene. RCMP issued a vulnerable missing persons alert, but they say there is no evidence of an abduction, so there has been no Amber Alert issued. This is a rural, densely wooded area, and so far search conditions have been good. There was a brief shower early this afternoon. There is a sense of urgency here.
6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan loved playing on the slide in their backyard. Now their mother, Maleha Brooks Murray, can barely look at it.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, "Do you hear the kids?" And he says, "No."
Yeah, Lily came into the room multiple times. I mean, me and Maya and the baby were just in the bedroom. And Lily came in multiple times, so I seen her that morning. And Jack was out playing in the kitchen, I'm guessing, and they slid open the back sliding door. It's almost like silent to hear it slide open. But they slid it open. The boots were right beside the door. And just proceeded to, I'm guessing, play outside,
and then about 20 minutes passed, and then when I woke up, Malaya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, "I don't hear Lilly and Jack." So I jumped straight up out of bed. Silence is never a good thing when you have kids, because they're getting into something. And then we noticed the boots were gone. We went outside, made our way into the backyard. We didn't see them anywhere. And Malaya said, "Should I call 911? And I said, "Well, just wait 1 second." I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods. It's about, 100 feet up in the woods. Ran up there, ran right back down, which only took me like 30 seconds. And I was screaming for Lilly and Jack, all the way out when I was running up to the cabins. And my mother heard me, so she came out and said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Lilly and Jack are missing."
They must have just got out to the back fence, and then they were gone. As soon as I seen that they were gone, I immediately jumped in the car, did all the dirt roads, did all the culverts, checked over the rivers, the streams. I did everything. I did anywhere the vehicle could take me, I did.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I got back home, like 10 minutes later, I immediately went out on foot till the officers got here.
And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
What were the conditions like in the woods when you were running?
The conditions are thick. My cousin said that she talked to some searchers, and they said they've been over on 500 different searches, and this is one of the hardest ones I've ever seen.
What makes it so difficult? Is it the thick woods, or what is it?
Very thick woods, terrain, elevation throughout the terrain.
Okay.
It didn't matter to me though. I was going up through water up to my waist, and well, the helicopters were just sitting there watching me, hovering above me.
So all three adults that were on the property at the time the children disappeared have the same story. Malaya has said virtually the exact same thing Daniel has said. And Daniel's mother, Janie McKenzie, also told police she heard the children playing in the yard that morning.
Both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them. I miss them.
Police say the search will continue until officers and crews are instructed otherwise.
We are going to keep searching. That's our job right now, and no one's stopping. We have lots of officers here on the scene that are parents themselves, and we can certainly feel for this family, and our priority is to bring these kids home safe.
The RCMP is the lead agency here, along with EHS, hundreds of search and rescue crews from Halifax to Cape Breton. During the daytime, there are anywhere from 100 to 140 search and rescue crews in the woods, and the search continues all night. They deploy between 60 and 75 search and rescue crews in the woods all night long. So each searcher will work a 12-hour shift before they have to take a rest. There are 3 helicopters in the air, and there are dogs as well involved in this search, drones too.
With the wet weather, it makes things a little more complicated for our searchers. Given they're in the woods, it's wet, things are slippery, footing's not the greatest. It's the water's it's not the best, but they're still trudging through and they're still working hard at doing the job that they have to do.
Ever since Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone, immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there. Searched all their play areas where they would play, like around the yard when I'm there. They have a little cabin that we made. Searched that. Then that's when I jumped in the car, did all the areas around, all the dirt roads.
RCMP have been focusing on a 3.5-kilometer radius from where the children were last seen, but that search zone expanded today further into the thick woods. Their stepfather, Daniel Martel, spends every evening conducting his own search.
As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert.
Martel believes they were only gone for about 20 minutes before he and their mother noticed they were missing.
The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt.
Martel says the only concrete clue so far is a boot print found near the backyard of the property.
I know they took their boots. That's pink boots for Lily, blue boots for Jack with dinosaurs on them. Lily had her backpack with white, and it was white with strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods that it'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up one for that long.
after it got soaked from the very first day. We only found the 2 boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new, other than the helicopters are still in the air, and they had dogs. They took around the dogs today, and as of last night, they had 8 more drones going up with infrared. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to.
Martel and the children's mother have been in a relationship for 3 years now. Malaya Brooks Murray told CTV News she's still holding out hope Jack and Lily will be found. She is now staying with family outside the county, and Martel says she hasn't spoken to him since. Martel is worried the children have been abducted.
Lilly and Jack, awesome kids, very, very kind. They'll talk to anyone. They want to go with anyone. They're just looking to have as much fun as they can. Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, and anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister. They hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only 2 prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it. We were searching. We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day, we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can, just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in military outfit said I could go back into the woods. Hardly any evidence at all since the first day. It's mind-boggling that nothing else was found. Just waiting and waiting and waiting for him to come home.
According to Martel, his side of the family are currently the only ones at ground zero after Lilly and Jack's mother left the county Saturday. But still, he remains, begging anyone with answers to come forward and bring his children home safe.
Anybody who has any information, or you think you've seen something or hear something, or any messages from friends about hearing something, just contact your local police services. Anything, guys, anything.
A spokesperson for the Chignecto Central Regional Center for Education tells us the 2 children were students at Salt Springs Elementary School. Their stepdad told us they'd both been out sick before disappearing on Friday.
Still, after 5 days, there is no sign of Lilly and Jack Sullivan.
No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the search is just so far out.
Exhaustion and optimism, right? We want to bring these 2 children home to their parents. We've got people who've been here since day one, since the first time the call came in. So they're tired and they're optimistic. They have one job. This is all search and rescue does, is they try to bring people home safely. They're sacrificing their personal lives. They're sacrificing a lot to be here to try to help this family out, to bring these 2 children home.
Now, RCMP Search and Rescue are still working under the assumption that the 4- and 6-year-old wandered away from the home in Lansdowne, just south of New Glasgow, on Friday morning. And as you walk into the woods, there's a little, kind of a tree fort, a little lean-to, and that's where the kids would play. And the family around there say they find it very hard to believe that, given how thick the brush is on some of the steep banks around that area, and just the difficulty moving around if you sort of leave that trail, how difficult they find it to believe that they could have gone anywhere deeper than that into the woods.
Good afternoon. I am Corporal Carly McCann, Provincial Public Information Officer for the Nova Scotia RCMP. Thank you all for being here today. At this time, I invite the following officers to the podium with me. Inspector Mike Ingles, District Policing Officer for Northeast Nova District RCMP. Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon, Pictou County District Commander. Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon, Acting Officer in Charge of Major Crimes and Behavioral Sciences Group, and Amy Hansen, Search Manager with Colchester Ground Search and Rescue. Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon will provide you with an overview of the efforts to find Lilly and Jack. He will review the search and investigation that began on Friday morning and provide the current status and next steps. We will take questions from media present following that. I invite Staff Sergeant McKinnon to the podium. J'invite maintenant le Sergent d'État McKinnon à prendre la parole. Merci.
Thank you all for being here today. First of all, our thoughts go to the family and loved ones of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, to their communities, and to everyone who's worked day and night in an effort to find the children and bring them home. Since the first 911 call was received by the RCMP, reporting that 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack had wandered away from their home on Garlick Road in Lansdowne Station, a multi-agency search has been underway. Teams have been working around the clock. This search has included many agencies, including volunteer ground search and rescue teams from across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, known as Cadaver, Department of Natural Resources Air Services, Nova Scotia Public Safety and Field Communications, Nova Scotia Guard, Joint Rescue Coordination Centre, Salvation Army, the Canada Heavy Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 5, and several RCMP units, including police dog services and drone operators. Since Saturday, because we treat all missing person files as suspicious until our investigation leads us to determine otherwise, our Major Crimes Unit has been engaged. Since the search began on May 2nd, it has been concentrated in the Garlick Road area and has covered 4 square kilometers of heavy, wooded, rural terrain. Lilly and Jack have made headlines from coast to coast. While the search has been ongoing, RCMP officers continued with the missing person investigation, speaking with family and community members to gather tips and other information that could help locate the children. We have not received any confirmed reports of sightings. Lilly and Jack's family has been provided with regular updates on the search and on the missing person investigation. They've also been afforded supports. As of today, May 7th, the active search efforts to locate Lilly and Jack will be scaled back. We're transitioning from a full-scale search to searches of more specific spaces that have already been searched by our teams. We want to circle back to increase the probability that all clues have been found. And when transitioning from an active search to a scaled-back search, the probability of survival is taken into consideration. I want to assure you that our missing persons investigation continues. We're not packing up, and we're not giving up. Our investigation is broad, and it won't end until we know where Lilly and Jack are and can bring them home. We'll continue to investigate and chase leads for as long as and as hard as we have to. We have the best investigators working every aspect of the file. We continue to appeal to anyone who have information related to our investigation and who has not yet spoken to us to contact the Pictou County District RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Crime Stoppers. Before I close, I want to reiterate that our hearts go out to Lilly and Jack's family, to the community, and the people who've worked so incredibly hard to date. Many of us have children of our own and have wanted nothing more than to reunite Lilly and Jack with their loved ones. What we'll be doing is we'll be continuing on. Just because today the search is being scaled back, we still will continue on, and we will go back to areas that we feel that we may need to re-look at, and we may expand out if there's any type of information that leads us to believe that we need to do that.
Yes.
I guess, you've done an incredibly exhaustive search in the area, and major crime is also here, and having not found these children, having done a very thorough search, can you tell us the role of major crime in this and what you can tell us about that investigation?
Rob McCammon, Robert, and MCCAMON is the last name. So major crime became involved very early in the investigation. We're able to bring in some specialized knowledge and skill sets, and we help with the information management and decision making. As we scale back, as we've identified, there are certain areas that are going to be relooked at that could contain a confined area perhaps, and maybe need some more specialized search areas. But I'll leave that to the search crews to expand on. And we're going to continue pursuing any leads or information that comes in, and the stuff that we do have. We have engaged in all areas of the RCMP. All tools that are available to us are being considered and engaged when appropriate.
As a follow-up, that I guess the general population looks at it and says, you've searched very thoroughly this area. You would have found them if they were there. which then makes people, you know, certainly on social media, people are assuming, rightly or wrongly, that there's a criminal element to this.
Sure.
And can you, I mean, I know, what can you tell me about that, your work on that potentially?
Well, I can't really speculate on the investigation, obviously. That wouldn't be fair to the process. But we are constantly reviewing everything that's been done, looking at all different facets of available information, and we'll make decisions on that. I can't really comment on the details of that, but we will pursue every lead that becomes available and take it to where it needs to go. So.
You at first said it wasn't suspicious, you think the kids just wandered off. Now you're saying every missing person's investigation is considered suspicious. Is it still suspicious? Are there any suspects here?
Again, I'm not going to comment on the details of the investigation, but I will comment, when somebody goes missing and we become engaged as any police officer, not just major crime, we will look at all the details and make considerations on the information we have, right? When it comes to a missing person, we have to automatically consider are there people that have different charter implications and things like that? So we will automatically start to consider what evidence is pointing us towards a suspicious in nature. Again, I can't comment more than that, but every missing person case, we would approach it from the same process, a methodical collection and review of information with decisions based on that.
And the family has said they believe it's an abduction, or they suspect it's an abduction. Are there now any clues or anything leading you to think that that might be possible?
If we had any information that led that way and we felt that we could provide anything with the public, we would have done that. We would have got that information out. We're working very closely with the family, and we will pursue every avenue. But again, I'm not going to make any specific comments, but anything that would point towards that, we would immediately take steps to address things that need to be addressed.
I think this question is most appropriate to Staff Sergeant. You talked about survivability. I was wondering if you could address that specifically, given the ages of the two missing children and the weather conditions we've experienced this week.
Yeah, so the incident command person with the RCMP, along with the search manager, at some point have to make a decision when would they scale back this search. And a number of factors would have to take consideration, and they would, based upon scientific information that they have, to deem when that time has to come, and that is now. And a lot of those factors come into play would be the age of the missing persons, the weather, how long it's been, what area has been covered. So at that point, they have to make a decision on that.
I hate to ask this, but given their age and the conditions, if they were still in the woods, do you think they would still be alive?
I guess it goes back to all those factors that have to come into play, right? So we are scaling back because it's time to move to a different part of the search.
I'll note as well the reason that the train is passing by slowly is out of respect for the fact that Lilly and Jack are missing here. So it's passing slow in order to have their staff be aware and note the ongoing missing person investigation happening in the area here. So I think we were with your question. Have we found any evidence that they are?
Yeah, so at one point there was a possible boot impression found, and I can tell you that the search and rescues then performed grid searches of that area and expanded out from that area in a meticulous fashion. They're focused and tight searches, and nothing else was found.
And did you believe that the evidence you found was from children?
It appeared it was a possible boot print, of a smaller boot print. So when we have a possibility like that, that's when we exhaust that area as well, to make sure that that wasn't a clue that we were missing.
I'm wondering, I understand K9 unit has been involved. Have cadaver dogs been involved at this point?
I don't believe cadaver dogs have been involved at this point yet.
Will they become involved? And I'd also like to circle back to Blair's question on survivability. If you could give a little bit more detail there about how you're making the equation, bringing in cadaver dogs and assessing survivability.
So cadaver gobs could be the next step in terms of part when we talk about scaling back. That could be another option that we now look at using. And getting back to that point, I mean, that decision was made based on a lot of factors. And if we thought they were alive right now, we'd still be out there.
Wondering if you can clarify, we heard major crime has been involved since Sunday, is that correct?
Saturday morning.
Since Saturday, okay. So do you believe the children have met foul play?
Do you want to talk?
Again, I'm not going to comment on specifics of the investigation. We're going to continue on, and when we get to a point that we've got information that we're able to make any decisions that are able to be public, we'll let you know at that time. But right now, I'm not going to comment on specifics. So.
Okay, so, but you don't believe the children are alive anymore?
No, based on the experts and the review of the facts, the inclement weather, the time frames, and their age, the likelihood that they're alive right now is very low.
Outside this Nova Scotia home, a reminder of the heartbreaking absence. 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan missing 6 days now. Their stepfather getting an update from RCMP officers. It's news he says he knew was coming but didn't want to hear. Police are scaling back the search and rescue of the siblings with hope dwindling.
Breaks my heart.
The two kids' stepfather says they went missing last Friday, wandering from home while the parents slept in another room. Since the kids went missing, their stepfather says he's hardly had any contact with their mother. She took their 1-year-old to stay with her mother after a fight between the families broke out. He says people accuse him of being involved in the children's disappearance. When contacted, the mother and her family only told CBC News police advised them not to speak to media.
I'm absolutely exhausted at this point. After going through 6 days of virtual hell, it's absolutely crazy. So I'm just fighting for Lilly and Jack.
It's bizarre. If you ask me what was bizarre, I'd say in this case, 2 with this particular family. 2 are gone.
They'll go on the balance of probabilities based on the area that we fully searched with a lot of people. We can't find any evidence, be it a backpack, a shoe, or whatever. We can't find the kids. If you can't find them, somebody has to say enough is enough right now for searching those areas. So now we move to where? There's only one other option. A nefarious take to this. In other words, a criminal type thing.
They gave you a clue when they said no abduction. That's a big statement to make at this early in the game.
You said they're flying in someone to do a polygraph test. Is that on you?
That's not just on me, but on everyone. That's what I asked for. I asked for that sorely, and there's not many places that do it in Canada, so they're flying somebody in.
Why do you think you need to do that? Do you think they don't believe you?
I think their side of the family doesn't believe me, and I just want to clear it up for everyone. Clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making crazy accusations and everything else.
7 days since 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan disappeared.
The last of RCMP in the area that I've seen, they were at Lansdowne Lake, and they told me that they scoured the lake, divers, and sonared the lake, and there's no evidence at all. If they were in this area, would have found them. My family's still searching.
It's been 2 weeks since 2 young children vanished without a trace in rural Nova Scotia. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, told CBC the siblings were out sick and not at school on Thursday and Friday. He said he believed the children must have gone outside through the sliding back door sometime Friday morning. After the disappearance, the children's mother left the area to be with her family in another part of the province and blocked him on social media.
My mother had to kick some people off the property because they were saying that I did it. I had something to do with it. And I'm the only one here fighting for them, which is sad.
The day after the children went missing, that Saturday of May 3rd, there was an argument at the home between Malaya's family members and some of Daniel's family members. One of Malaya's family members hurled an accusation that Daniel had something to do with the children's disappearance. And this stemmed from discussion about meth use in the home.
And there was drugs. Drugs was involved, and that's what fueled the family altercation in the driveway. And I'll be the one to say that because I got so freaking mad after this was found out, because then I said to him, I said, that's exactly why you're acting the way you are, running around like a madman, acting like you're doing everything and everybody's just sitting back, like, relaxing. Like, nobody was, but nobody was running around like a chicken with their head cut off because we weren't on drugs. Do you know what I mean? But that's what the altercation was, because I was like, I confronted his family. It was actually me. And I said, what the hell, guys? Like, what's going on here? Like, why is that involved? My sister broke down and she admitted that he's been on it for 2 years. Yeah, that was just as Malaya was going down to the press conference. Yeah. So Malaya broke at the end of the driveway. She was crying, and I was like, like, what's going on? And she wouldn't talk. And I looked at her and I said, now's the time to talk. Like, get fucking talking. Like, what's going on? And she broke down, and that's what it came about, that he was doing meth. And yeah, so they all got very, very mad when that came about, and they all kind of said, you know what, we already knew that. Well, if you knew that, why the hell is there children in a home with somebody like that? Like, why aren't you protecting the kids that way?
Daniel told me about the fight on the first day I met him, and I also learned that his mother, Janie McKenzie, kicked Malaya's family members off the property.
Haley. Must have heard Haley Mackenzie. She goes, you get out of my fucking yard. That's what Janny come right up to her. You get out of my fucking yard. Don't you accuse my fucking son.
After that point, at a briefing, a police update that Daniel and Malaya attended together, Malaya left the briefing in tears. And when Daniel tried to speak to her alone, her mother would not let him. And that there was also an altercation there that resulted in Malaya leaving with her mother, cutting off contact with Daniel, and the two have broken up. She's changed her Facebook status to single, and she has not come back to the community.
Yeah, just before Malaya had left. Malaya planned to, the baby was going to go with Logan. There was a lot of, kind of give me the baby, I'm taking the baby, and then, oh, you can come too. And it was kind of Malaya, I spoke to her and I was like, why don't you go with your mom? She wasn't made to go with her mom. As her sister, I could see what was right and what was wrong in that moment.
When I got there, I said, do you want me to stay with the baby? You can go look. She goes, I'm going to stay with the baby. Okay, said whatever. So I went looking. So that was the next thing, was when she was told that the baby had to leave the residence. She's exactly told she did not have to leave the residence. They just wanted the baby off the residence, from the residence. As this whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of. So the baby was going to come to my house. So she's never been apart from the baby. Never. She's meadow. So I said, you're more than welcome to come too. If not, I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own. Like Malaya, I can take care of this kid. I can take care of the baby, no problem. So first the baby, it was just going to be the baby, and then she decided she was going to come with me. So, but then something changed, and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her, and then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her mother's car. And like I said, she had this whole plan, she was going to drive her car into my house. Mm-hmm. And she was going to, and then the plan changed. Oh, I'm going to take the car to my mother's. I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. The search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was because they left the car. That's how much of a hurry that was to leave.
And they were trying to persuade her to stay with the baby. And I told her that she really needs to sit and think what's best for her and the baby at this time. And she ended up going with her mom, and that was willingly. It was nobody talking her in to go. I'm just you have a home, you'll be treated right, there'll be food, there'll be love, you know what I mean?
So, to know that he got home to go contact her, that he was blocked and deleted, was a complete and utter shock.
We are at the 2-week mark since these children disappeared. So 2 weeks, 2 children, 0 clues about what may have happened to them.
Now, after dozens of police interviews and more than 180 tips from the public, these woods about to be examined again. Officials now confirming the search surrounding the home of Lilly and Jack Sullivan will resume Saturday, likely as a recovery effort.
The RCMP won't say what prompted the resumption of search efforts, but when Daniel Martel heard the news, he felt a wave of renewed optimism that his stepchildren might finally be found.
It fills me with a lot of hope, seeing drones in the sky and seeing people back hard at work.
More than 100 rescue workers are combing through several square kilometers of dense forest, marking off each area searched with a ribbon.
Countless orange and pink ribbons marking grounds covered in the search.
It's absolutely heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking, not just for me and Malaya and the families, but it's heartbreaking for all of Pictou County.
Any investigation like this, they're going to start closest to the children and work their way out. From the physical search perspective and from the investigation, who had access to those children.
Pure exhaustion at this point. I mean, sadness just turns to anger because there's no answers. And I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get answers. Bring cadaver dogs. They search for anything they can find. I want as much as they can do.
Retired RCMP dog handler of 26 years says it's baffling to him the children are still missing.
I find it hard to believe that a 6 and 4-year-old would just disappear like that. I guarantee you, if I was still working today, that'd be the thing you'd be racing around your mind all the time. Like, where would they have gone? Like, we have done everything. I think the last thing I read, they searched a square kilometer area, 5 kilometers. That's a big area. That's a big area, and that's meticulously searched.
More than 100 volunteers renewed the search over the long Victoria Day weekend, targeting specific areas around the road near their home.
The scenario everyone's hoping for is we bring them home. That's the main objective. It's always been that from day one. I mean, everywhere I go, people stare. It will never be enough for a lot of people online. But that's something I have to live with until, the truth makes its way out, and the truth always makes its way out.
Investigators are now asking anyone who has dash cam footage or video along Garlick Road between noon on April 28th and noon on May 2nd to contact Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crime Unit.
Martel says he has been interviewed extensively since Lilly and Jack were first reported missing. You mentioned last time we chatted that you'd offered to do a polygraph test.
That is correct.
Has that already happened?
That has happened.
Right. And did you get results from that yet?
I do have results, and I don't know if I can share those results, but they were good in my favor, we'll say that.
Despite not having had contact with the children's mother Malaya since May 3rd when she left the search area, he says an RCMP liaison has been assigned to keep them both informed as the investigation progresses.
Trust the RCMP word, and I mean, you don't have to trust my word, but I'm the only one doing media for Jack and Lily, trying to keep the story alive and get them found.
It's been 4 weeks since Daniel Martel has seen his stepchildren.
Every day when I wake up, feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings from sadness have just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month. And it's really taken a toll. Me and my family still go out sometimes and search, but everything's been searched that we can really dive into at this time. They have over 12,000 man-hours searched in the woods, and they're planning on doing more, which I'm really grateful for.
On Friday, RCMP say ground search and rescue crews and police will return to the area this weekend, focusing on a nearby pipeline trail where a boot print was previously located.
I know that they're working hard and they're using every resource they have, and it makes me hopeful because that's all we have at this point is just hope.
RCMP have confirmed Lilly and Jack were seen on camera with family the day before they went missing. Police are asking anyone who was on Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd to share their dash cam or other footage with RCMP.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
I'm an open book, to be honest, and most times I don't understand why nobody else is. I believe everybody should be an open book. I think that was Monday. My sister drove me up there. We didn't go there to search that time. I see no point in searching any further once Malaya had left. So I figured if she left, Something tells me she had to have had a very, very good reason to leave. Is it because she knows her babies are alive? I really, really hope so. But this other part of me tells me no. I wanted to go, and I wanted to speak to Daniel. So my sister took me there. She dropped me off. I walked towards the trailer. Janie come out of the trailer and asked who I was. And as I was stating who I was, Daniel come out and said that that's Belynda, Cody's mom. So he come out and I said, I hope you talk to me. And he said, I will. He said, I don't want to talk here. Let's go out in the driveway further. So that's what we did. We walked out to the middle of the driveway. And I told him that I had tried contacting Malaya and she did block me. And he said, yeah. He said, weird, isn't it? Then he proceeded to tell me that the whole thing is strange. And he thinks Cindy and Malaya's half-sister had something to do with it, because he said the whole thing just doesn't make sense to him.
Now, I know you can't speak on Daniel's behalf, but what does he really truly believe happened to these kids?
That's something that he has stated all along, that it's something that has to come from him. Honestly, he believes they were, I think he believes that they were picked up by now, like that they were abducted, because there's no sign of them in the woods. He doesn't believe they're in the woods.
So he really doesn't believe that mom had anything to do with it?
That's something I don't know, because you always have your line of doubt, right? Like you always have your theories and your things. So I can't speak on his behalf on that.
I understand. I just know that they both used each other as an alibi and in the morning in regards to the situation.
Absolutely. And no, I don't believe he believed or believes that Malaya had anything to do with the children missing.
But he also gave the interview of the wee.
And then we noticed the boots were gone. We went outside, made our way into the backyard. We didn't see them anywhere.
Oh, right off the bat, if he's stating that wee.
Yeah.
And he was protecting her, well, that was the very first morning. What was he protecting her from? She sent her kids off with a couple of friends. The police turn around, go back. We don't need you. She sent the kids off. It's not an emergency. They're not missing. But
Right.
what? He went along with the wee right from day one because he was protecting her, because he knew right from day one what she did. So that part of it doesn't make sense. What struck me is they're all stating she left through the back door for the boot print to be where it's at. Why wouldn't she have gone out the front door? She'd bypass Janie's place and it would be right out to the road then.
Would you have noticed if she got out of bed?
No, I would have been sleeping. I didn't even know she called the kids and asked it until I got the email on my phone.
Well, I mean, you woke up when Lily popped her head in, right? So you were
Yes, I did, because there's a lock on the door, right?
Yeah.
And I heard like the lock rattle.
So if you're already have been woken up, Lily's popping in, so you've already woken up to a certain extent, maybe not fully awakened, but you've woken up to the point where you've acknowledged that the child has come in and out. Do you think in that moment, maybe not earlier, maybe not early in the morning, but from the moment that you were awoken, from the time that Lily popped her head in, the time that you were fully awake, do you think that Malaya could have gotten out of bed without you noticing?
I think she could have, but you have to remember too, the baby was laying on her arm as well.
Oh,
so like the baby was sleeping on top of her right arm.
So it's unlikely that she got out of bed.
It's unlikely, but it is possible. I mean, anything's possible, but I think Meadow may have be woken up when she's actually moving.
Gotcha.
But it is possible, Daniel. I mean, anything's possible. This case is just an absolute circus, so anything's possible.
I would like whoever has the kids or whoever knows where the kids are, please, if they want to and they want to get out of trouble, please drop them off where they picked them up. They will be safe. We will get them We will get them to the authorities. If they want to drop the kids off of here, and if they got the kids to yell, my dog would let me know that they're out there. I will go get them, and I will make sure they are safe.
As I said, the accusation and the rumors have to stop. It's not good for me, for my dog, for my grandchildren especially, for Lilly and Jack. These accusations have got to stop.
But, I mean, the narrative's always been targeted at me, right, though, Daniel?
Gotcha.
And you know, I'll stay in the spotlight as long as it takes, because as long as I'm the target, the individuals or groups or whoever has the kids, they're gonna feel more relaxed, and that gives investigators a chance to strike.
So you believe that the kids are alive?
Yes, 100%. I hope every day. I believe the exact same as RCMP do. They didn't go into the woods.
What do you believe happened?
I don't want to go into any theories. I don't want to point any fingers, because I've done that so many times online. So I'm gonna refrain from doing it, Daniel.
Do you think it was an outsider?
No, because on the second day they came out and said this is not an abduction. An abduction means that the individual or parties that took the kids wouldn't be known by the kids. That's what an abduction is. So when the RCMP said it wasn't an abduction, that means the person that has the kids is known by them. And because I was with Malaya for 3 years, I think I may know the person that has the kids, right? Because I was involved in the kid's life and I was involved in Malaya's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he searched for days in the woods and went on TV to state that if he has to, he'll search for the rest of his life. And that strikes me odd if in the back of his mind, he really believes because his mom heard the kids and she almost caught her handing the kids off, that if they really believe that to be true and they gave their statements, but the police didn't want to listen, I'd be telling the reporters, I'd be telling the whole world. And then he proceeded to tell me of how he searched. Now, I have to say that part struck me weird, because as he was telling me how he searched Friday, he was telling me word for word what I heard on the TV interviews. And I mean, it was basically word for word, and that struck me as off. That just struck me as totally off. Right down to the culverts, the dirt roads, waist deep in the water, word for word. And I thought that was really, really odd. I cannot see her going through all these lengths to get her kids out of there when she could have left. I know her mom would have picked her up. She had her own vehicle. She could have left any time. I just can't see that. It doesn't make sense to me. That was the other thing I wanted to say. I'm sorry. Yeah. When Malaya stated about who Janie was and who Justin was, she said they live in the trailer out back. She used the words they. And my sister and I afterwards thought, wow, that's such a small trailer. But people live how they live. So that was the end of that thought. And it wasn't until I seen a couple of clips from the news briefing stating that Justin didn't live on the property. And I thought, well, geez, maybe we heard wrong, but I was positive she said they. And then when I heard that Justin has a place up the road, but then I heard Logan's interview being broadcasted where she was on TikTok and somebody had asked about Justin and she said, well, no, he's got his own problems right now, that he's in the middle of a divorce. And maybe Malaya was right. He was staying with Janie at that particular time. When I walked into the driveway and I said hi to them, and Justin was really upset. He was crying. Daniel was out talking to reporters at the end of the driveway. And Justin was really, really upset. So right away I was thinking they must have got some kind of bad news. It struck me as very, very odd because I said to my sister afterwards, I mean, I know they were probably somewhat close with the kids because they were there for 2 years. But I said he seemed really devastated. So it did strike me as just a little off.
What are you doing? Hammer down, bud. Be a man. Be a man.
Tell me, what can I help you?
Are you the one that stole them kids?
Me?
What are you doing here?
Are you?
What are you doing here?
Are you?
Are you in here?
Are you?
What are you doing here?
Are you?
You're a idiot. Another one of them YouTubers, are you?
Is there anything wrong that I park my car in here?
You're not parking, you being an idiot.
For what?
So, you can YouTube all you want. You low-life little...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You can smile because you got a camera that
I'm
you're
down.
taking my picture. I don't have to calm down.
Who heard you?
You're the one that...
Who heard you?
You.
Who heard you?
You.
Keep crying. Keep crying, man.
Hate you, YouTubers.
I'm not YouTuber.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm here looking for it. What are you doing?
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Pictures of me then.
Because you took a picture of me first.
I live here.
So what? I can't come here to help? What the wrong with you, man?
What's wrong with you?
Walk away, little.
I arrived May 2nd between 2 and 2:30. I didn't even know Jack and Lily were missing till 1:30 that day, and I seen it on Facebook in a post that was shared. You imagine, you just get home from work, you sit down, you open your phone just to scroll, and then you see that. Your niece and nephew missing. I can't even explain the hurt and the heartache when I seen that. I had to message some people and get the address of where this happened because I didn't even know where Malaya lived. I didn't speak to her for 2 years. And keep in mind, I'm not familiar with that area. I live 45 minutes away. So I got all the details that I needed to head down, and I was there between 2 and 2:30.
I've known Malaya for years, and Lilly and Jack were taken care of so well, and she did everything and anything with them. She was so patient with them. She was very soft-spoken. They were always clean. She lived in a nice environment.
Just out of curiosity, did you ever visit Malaya and Daniel when they were living in the trailer, or visit Malaya and Daniel at any point?
Not since she got with him.
Okay. Did you text each other back and forth? Did you talk on the phone?
No.
Okay, so, and how long has she been with Daniel?
2 years, I believe.
Okay, so you were out of contact with Malaya for 2 years then?
Everybody was, yep.
It doesn't get any easier. I mean, 1 month has passed.
At the vigil, Martel didn't know what to expect, but people came. Strangers stood silent, held candles, and left messages. The children's mother didn't attend the vigil. Martel says the grief has been overwhelming, and online speculation hasn't helped, especially for their daughter that still lives with her.
Put your focus outward around Malaya and toward the kids. Don't attack Malaya, because her mental health is, it's going to be reflected on her daughter, so I don't want anyone attacking Malaya anymore.
Lilly and Jack Sullivan have been missing for 1 month, and tonight a community group held a candlelight vigil in Shellerton to show support for the family and friends impacted by the disappearance.
Tonight is about saying a prayer, and we're going to light the way home for them.
RCMP resumed the search for Lilly and Jack over the weekend, finding nothing.
Investigators remain committed to exploring all possibilities surrounding the children's disappearance. We want to thank all those who provided tips and information. Please know that we're fully engaged in finding out what happened to Lilly and Jack.
Some family members of the two children looked on as dozens of community members showed they care.
It's like every parent's worst nightmare. You don't ever want to have to ever go through something like this. Your boat searches and your heart just breaks every time because you pray that today will be the day that they bring them home.
Daniel Martel says during the polygraph test, he was asked several things, including whether or not he was involved in the disappearance of the children.
I know it would be a big help in the case and kind of narrow down maybe some of the speculations and just provide more evidence.
He says both his cell phone and that of his estranged wife were confiscated and searched by investigators. And for their stepfather, the silence inside the once busy home is deafening.
I haven't even got to see my own kids, not even Meadow yet. But I'm still hopeful. I have supervised visits coming up that are granted by CPS. Going from a family of 7 to just me, I mean, I have nothing but time to just think.
What do you remember about the kids?
Kids, they were happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah?
Yes. Every time I seen them, they always lived at their grandmother's in Truro.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, at their great-grandmother's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
At Patty Carter's. That's where I used to go visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Until this guy moved them away, and that was the last time I seen them.
When's the last time that you got to see Lily and Jack?
I seen Lily last year when she brought her up here. Yes, the last time I seen Lily.
Connie Brooks told us some interesting information. Malaya had been there to get her status card updated, so she is a member of the First Nation, and she visited her grandmother and other relatives, and her grandmother asked her about her relationship with Daniel Martel.
But I asked her, did he hurt you? She didn't really say he hurt her, but he held her down. He held her down and took her phone on her, and she couldn't talk. She couldn't allowed to use the phone.
Certainly the Mi'kmaq community has been involved in the search and providing legal assistance to their mother, so it is a part of the story. The Nova Scotia's Child Protection Office had been contacted by the kids' school out of concern about the way they were showing up at school. We don't know the specific details of what the concern was that prompted that call, but we do know that that caused a child protection worker to go to the children's house and interview their parents, and this was in the months before their disappearance.
I was looking through the Facebook page of the children's school to understand what their school life was like. I was really just curious about the types of things they did at school and, you know, what their lives were like there. And I came across a photo of Jack with a black eye. And so that photo was dated December 13th, 2024. It was 5 months before he and Lily disappeared. I asked Daniel how Jack received the black eye in December, and he didn't respond. But in private Facebook messages that were shared with me, he acknowledged that Jack had many black eyes. He said Lily even had a black eye when Jack and Lily disappeared from an incident that happened on May 1st, the day before the children went missing. He said a Tonka truck that she pushed down on swung up and hit her in the face.
But the most of the black eyes were probably from Lily because, and I don't want to say 100% because Jack was really clumsy too. Like when we used to take him through the woods, he would fall a lot. I remember one time too, Jack ran right into the doorknob on the door. They would throw stuff at each other. They were quite aggressive toward each other.
Her mother has told CBC News the RCMP told them not to speak with news reporters. The RCMP said it just advised people to be mindful of the information they share.
What I see from the outside, there's only two options here. Criminal involvement, search, they haven't found them yet. They legitimately got lost in the woods. I felt, okay, let's give them a couple of days to see if these kids are just wandered off because they're only 6 and 4. So are they lost? They'll find them, maybe. If not, let's see how far it goes. And I says, and if it goes beyond 2 or 3 days, that was my reaction. What's next? All the techniques for a major crime are on display. They just haven't said it is a criminal investigation. So you got 2 kids missing under those kind of circumstances. To me, definitely a major crime and a possible criminal offense somewhere. Something nefarious, to me, may very well have happened.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lilly and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lilly and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. Malaya and the baby were asleep. Lilly came in multiple times. I was not in deep sleep by any means. And then about 20 minutes passed, and then when I woke up, Malaya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lilly and Jack. I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods, and where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning?
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them do drug tests, because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Yeah. Did
the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, they did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lilly and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lilly and Jack. Are you accessory to the murder of Lilly and Jack? They were all.
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive?
Yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah.
That's a lot of interviews.
It is a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people that live in the area. And those interviews, typically, my interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1, 2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up, and they ask detailed questions.
When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
And how did that feel?
Good. That was really when I seen the turning point for it starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say it, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
No. RCMP weren't allowed to tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lilly and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
Well, just the mysterious and nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But the kids were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were out of school for days. And they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera the day before the disappearance in the afternoon.
I was near the Highland Square Mall.
Was it with you?
It was with me, Malaya, and Meadow, and Lilly and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lilly and Jack, and that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now. Going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye, your family's ripped apart and you're left alone.
I am the grandmother of Lilly and Jack. I am the grandmother on the biological father's side. And this is my favorite picture, their first day of school, because they both look so happy. My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
I love you.
Lilly is, she was my little dream girl, the first granddaughter. And I love that she had the brown hair and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess. Jack was such a sober, serious little baby that he didn't like to smile. You could tickle him and he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you.
And so how long were your son and Malaya together?
3.5 years, I think it was, yeah. I thought they were the picture-perfect family. She told me that she wasn't happy and she thinks she's going to leave. And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than 2 broken ones.
My son has been living here for 11 months now, and he has had nothing to do with the children for 3 years. Him and Malaya were together for 3.5 years. Their relationship went downhill really fast after Jack was born. Malaya told me that she was not happy. She definitely wanted out of the relationship. And we supported her 100%. My son, I don't know if it was the pressures of trying to support a family. I'm not sure what happened, but he started drinking a lot, and in the end, he just didn't care. And she got tired of it and left. She went to court for full custody, and she went to court for child support payments, and he was paying child support right up until 11 months ago now, when he lost his job, lost his apartment, and lost his vehicle, and that's why he's home. Does it suck? Yes, it does. I make no excuses for him, but he is my son, and I love him with all my heart.
I looked at the fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away, that she wanted sole custody of the kids. So she petitioned the courts for sole custody, and when she did that, he said he was done. Malaya, she was a sweetheart. Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good.
Things started to change when she met Daniel. Okay.
That she had told us about meeting him, and that she did believe it was going somewhere, so I was happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, well, as long as he makes her happy, because kids are happy if mom's happy.
Yeah.
And we kept in communication that the kids' birthdays and Christmas, that she was staying with her grandmother at that time in Truro.
Yeah.
So we would go there to drop off the kids' birthday gifts or Christmas gifts and visit with them. Then we noticed that it started to change a bit. He started to get distance, that the last visit she had them here, that was in the summer before Jack's birthday, so that probably would have been around July or August.
Mm-hmm.
She did make the comment that it bothered Daniel coming to visit us. That he assumed that she was coming so she could run into Cody. And I thought, well, I mean, they're only young, so we made it clear that, look, if he's got a problem, bring him too.
Do you think that the reason why you haven't seen them in the last 2 years is because of that?
I do feel it's because of him. I do. I mean, she was coming all the time up until she got with him. The mom of my grandson called me. We were in town. She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malaya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock. But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search.
When I found out that they were missing, I thought they were lost in the woods. I thought they were lost in the woods right up until we went there Saturday morning. And seeing where Malaya lived, seeing Malaya herself. And I still thought, well, the children must be up in the woods. There was a lot of woods. You could see the kids' toys all over the yard. You knew they well played there. Malaya was pretty, I'm not sure if it's shock, but she was very flat, non-emotional flat. I put it down to shock. That she just didn't know what to do, and she kept saying she didn't know what to do. As for the people around her, I know when we come into the driveway, Janie was sitting on some kind of a bench thing or something in the driveway, and I can't remember who the woman was beside her. There was a policewoman standing there, and the policewoman was talking to them. We couldn't make out what she was saying until we got up closer. And Janie was really crying a lot. And this woman was saying to her, "It's okay, Mom. They're not blaming you. They just want to look in your trailer. They're not blaming you. They just need to make sure that there's nothing in the trailer." She went on to say that there was nothing in the trailer. She didn't want them around her dog. And the policewoman told her that she was impeding an investigation and she would have to get a search warrant. And then I thought, well, we'll just continue on into the trailer. When I walked into the trailer, we went in through the front door where it's a little porch there on the front. We went in through that door. And you walk right into the kitchen area. The table's right across from the door. The living room is off to the right. There's a wood stove. It's not quite in the middle of the living room floor, but it juts out in the living room floor a fair bit. Recyclables were everywhere. Piled up bags everywhere. The counters were so full you couldn't pick out any one thing because it was really piled up with a lot of stuff. She was totally, a good way to put it was she looked totally lost. She had Meadow on her hip. She was holding Meadow, and she looked totally lost. When I got inside the trailer and after I had hugged Malaya, I mean, I took to crying. Now, I didn't notice because I wasn't watching, but my sister stated that she noticed Malaya wasn't crying at all. She didn't have any tears, that she was very non-emotional. Right away, she thanked me for coming. And I noticed that her grandmother, Patty, was there. She was sitting on the couch. And I asked Malaya if she'd heard anything yet. Did they find anything yet? And she said no. I said, who are the ones outside? And she told me that was Janie, Daniel's mom, and that was Justin, Daniel's brother. I asked if those were the doors that the children went out, and she said yes, and she opened and closed them to show me how quiet they were, which I did find a little strange. I asked her around what time she seen them, and she said she never seen them since Thursday night when she put them to bed. I asked her what time she thought they got up, and she said between 8 and 8:30. But she said she didn't see them. She heard them out in the other room playing. She never said what room. She just said she heard them out in the room playing, and she drifted off to sleep. And when she woke up again, she didn't hear nothing, and she realized that the place was just too quiet. So they got up and they searched. She said they searched the house, they searched the yard, and then I think she said Daniel went off in the truck to search. I never met Daniel that day. She told me that he was out searching. He's been searching since they've been gone. The dog barked from the time we entered the property. It just became background noise. It never stopped barking.
But those woods, I started to feel that I can't see them being in the woods. There's trees everywhere. You literally have to climb over trees, climb under bushes. It is really, really thick. We come back out and I went in to see Malaya again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very non-emotional, very just flat, monotone. But Malaya's very soft-spoken anyway, that she's not usually excitable. I thought that's made her a really great mom. She was an excellent mom. She never raised her voice at the kids. That it was always, now Lily, what did Mommy say? And I used to think, now if anybody's meant to be a mom, it was her. A part of me still feels that. After seeing the place, seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malaya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp. Now, I don't know if it's from all the people that were there, because I didn't show up till the day after. But it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them. My heart tells me these babies are gone. My heart tells me that. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
She keeps her mind occupied spending time in the garden, surrounded by hummingbirds.
Well, these are everybody's grandchildren. They're not just mine now.
The province of Nova Scotia is offering a reward of up to $150,000 for any information relating to the two siblings who were reported missing last month. In a brief phone call today, the children's maternal grandmother told Global News the family's focus is on finding Lilly and Jack, and they hope this reward will help.
To be clear, we don't have evidence to suggest that an abduction took place at this time.
Is it something you're still investigating, whether or not they could have been abducted?
So we're exploring all investigative avenues. So every missing person's investigation is suspicious until it's proven that it's not. You know, if we don't have that information to say that it's not suspicious, we have to continue to assume that it is suspicious and access those resources and tools and follow up those tips and find that evidence until we find the people that are missing. And to this date, we haven't had any confirmed sightings. So we know they were seen in public with loved ones the day prior. The specifics aren't being released at this time. You know, when you establish a timeline for any investigation, you want to know where these individuals were prior. They may have been in contact with someone that you want to know who that person is. You may see something on that footage that you didn't know about prior to that. You know, we talked about license plates earlier and seeing them from a different angle. You might see someone that's known elsewhere. Maybe it's someone that's known to police. You never know. We really are seeking all investigative avenues in this case.
It's been 2.5 months since the 2 young children disappeared. The investigation has grown into one of the largest in Nova Scotia RCMP history.
Their efforts include reviewing approximately 5,000 video files that have been obtained through a video canvas of Lansdowne Station and the surrounding areas, assessing more than 600 tips from the public, formally interviewing more than 60 people, including the administration of polygraph tests to some individuals, forensic examination of materials located through ground and air searches in Lansdowne Station, including a pink blanket that officers seized on Lansdowne Road, and submitting judicial authorizations to seize and examine materials and devices that may provide information useful to the investigation. Right now, there are more than 800 tasks associated to this investigation. A tremendous amount of careful, deliberate investigative work is underway by people here at home and in other parts of Canada. Our collective efforts will continue every day until we determine with certainty the circumstances surrounding Lilly and Jack's disappearance.
Well, today marks 11 weeks. Now, their step-grandmother is speaking out for the first time.
She is the mother of Daniel Martel, who is the stepfather.
And she had basically given Martel and his young family the mobile home and was living in the RV parked next to the house. She says she very much thought of Lilly and Jack as her grandchildren, says they called her Granny, and have been part of her family for 2 years.
Now, Janie says that she still feels that the kids are alive out there somewhere, but that they are not in the woods.
No, I don't think they're in the woods. We searched this place. Look at all the searchers they had out. They had helicopters out. They had drones out. They had searchers. They went over this place with a fine-tooth comb every day that they were searching. They were here. You know how many times my trailer got searched 3 times.
So the morning of May 2nd.
Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock. Sat in there and had my tea. And then on Facebook, 7 o'clock. I get up. Come over here. Fed my chickens. My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said no. I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, my dog started barking and the kids were out in the yard. Now, you can see there's 2 swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. After that, I heard nothing. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played.
And so that's where
I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If 2 kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack and Lily. I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily to get in the house. So the next thing you know, I came out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about, I'd say, 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing right here with Meadow on her hip. And I come out, and I said, what's up? She said, Jack and Lily are missing. I said, how long? She said, about 20 minutes. I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Just right up here. The kids have a little fort that they made out of sticks and fir branches, and that's where they go. You can see them and hear them. We went for walks in the woods. I had to practically carry Jack through the woods because there was no way that he was walking through all that tree falls and bushes. I did this whole area. There's an old road up back. When I got up to the top of the hill, I met Daniel. And I said to him, I said, did you find them? He said, no. He said, you coming with me? I said, no. I said, I'm going to search this area. Because when she told me the kids were missing, you automatically think they went into the woods. That was my first instinct. Mm-hmm. So I went up and I did this whole area, this whole wooded area, right up to the top of the dirt road, came back down here, and came back down the side of the road, came back down here, and came back up the same spot. I went back into the house. By the time the cops were here, I don't know exactly what time, I didn't take my phone. The cops were here. There was a bench sitting here, or a sawhorse, it's over there, was sitting here. I was sitting on it, bawling my eyes out. I was crying because I blame myself for not getting up that morning to see the kids. Because if I would have got up, this wouldn't have never happened. Okay? That's why I was crying.
So this is the patio door?
This is the patio door.
That Jack and Lily would have...
That Jack and Lily came out of.
Okay. And so tell us why we've heard about the patio door.
Because everybody's saying on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok that the patio door makes a noise. And why they didn't hear the door open. The bedroom is back there, okay?
That far window.
The last window is the bedroom.
And so they would have come out this door.
They would have come out this door
that morning.
Yes.
And then they went and played on the swing set.
Yes.
And that's when you heard them.
That's when I heard them. Right here in this area here. I plan on putting a pool up this year for the kids. You need level ground for a pool. That's what I was doing. I was leveling out the ground to set up a pool.
And this is the Thursday.
This is Thursday.
Right.
Friday, all the investigators, search and rescue and everything, right around here was where they found the only footprint.
This is where the boot...
This is where I was raking that night. That's where the boot print was found. In the mud where I was raking.
I thought there was two boot prints.
There was supposed to be a footprint found way up on the pipeline.
Right.
Malaya sent me the picture of it. That's all I know. There was a footprint found.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, the footprint was here. The only one that they can confirm that was Lily and Jack's was right here.
So it was child size.
Yes. A man, one of the investigators came in here and was measuring it all. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to lie. The reason why I wanted you guys to come here and do the interview here is to show you exactly where everything took place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to show people that this is what happened. All the stuff that people, all the rumors and accusations about us murdering the kids and burying them on the property, this place has been searched thoroughly. The well has been checked, the septic tank. All the barns were searched. My RV was searched 3 times. The trailer was searched. This whole place was searched. If they want to come back and search again, they're more than welcome.
Do you feel as if the finger has been pointed towards you and Daniel?
Yes, I do. Because I live on the property. Come on.
Do you think your son had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No, I don't believe Daniel had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. Our heart don't lie, and my heart is telling me that my kid did not have nothing to do with this, and I had nothing to do with this. You know, if something bad happens, you get like your heart drops. Mine hasn't dropped. Deep down in my heart, I do believe Jack and Lily are alive. It's not because of what people are saying. It's my heart tells me that they are alive.
Darren Geddes is an extended family member of the children's mother.
I believe I'm catching on to who got them, who transported them. Now, the cops are after me to tell them names that I believe, but it's only speculations.
Why would they hide the kids? What would be your explanation of why Malaya would want to hide these kids?
There's two reasons that I can see. There's two reasons possibly why they would hide the kids. Number one is to protect the kids possibly from some abuse that was going on in the household, right? Now, both Malaya and Daniel have accused each other of being abusive to the kids. I believe one parent under-disciplined the kids, and I believe the other parent tried to discipline the kids a little bit. And they didn't like that, and that's what some arguing and that was about. And then I believe the complaining of one person to a bunch of family members led into other family members deciding to do something about it. But we're 99% sure that the kids got transported to the end of the driveway, they got put into a vehicle, they got transported somewhere else and shifted off to someone else.
We received a slew of documents connected to the investigation into the missing Sullivan children.
Freshly unsealed court documents detail how RCMP combed through bank records, phone data, and GPS locations.
A lot of the documents are heavily redacted. Children reported missing first at 10 a.m. by their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. Police were at the trailer at 10:27 that day. She told the cops she believed the children had wandered away from home, but the exact time for that is redacted. Lie detector tests were administered to the mother and the stepfather on May the 12th, and both passed. An officer noted, quote, "At this point in the investigation, Jack and Lily's disappearance is not believed to be criminal in nature." More polygraphs were administered in June to the children's biological father, and he passed. But when police attempted the same test on the children's step-grandmother, they found the test ineffective. I'm quoting again. Her physiology was not suitable for analysis, and an opinion on the polygraph examination was not rendered, end quote.
Investigators wanted to know the exact whereabouts of Martel and the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, in the days leading up to the children's disappearance.
The documents say Lily and Jack Sullivan were last seen at a local Dollarama with their mother and stepfather 1 day before they were reported missing.
Daniel Martel knew he was a likely suspect when his two stepchildren disappeared.
Everything from my phone, doing a polygraph exam, and just ask them to do, here you go, search everything, just do everything you can for the kids, right?
Documents reveal that as of July 16th, investigators did not believe the case was criminal. By that point, 6 polygraph tests had been done, including on both Brooks Murray and Martel. They were also done on Martel's mother, on Brooks Murray's mother and her partner, and on the children's biological father. Brooks Murray was given a polygraph in what police describe as an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder.
They've done a full background check as much as they could possibly do, and I mean, I'm pretty thankful for them to spend the time and spend the resources to try to figure out everything.
Although redacted, they did talk of polygraph examinations. They did specifically, in some cases, people were proven to not be deceptive, so they believed them. And in other cases, it was redacted. And so there's a little confusion about that. And a redaction doesn't mean someone has been deceptive and is guilty of anything, but it certainly may be cause for more investigation into somebody.
An extensive search on Martel's property and the surrounding 8.5 square kilometers has turned up only a few clues. One was a boot print matching Lily's size 11 feet. Another was a pink blanket hanging from a tree found by family members of the children's mother. A piece of blanket was also seized from a garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martel says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
Yeah, so just touching on the subject of the blanket, I've kept pretty quiet. I have a son of my own right, and Lily and Jack are my niece and nephew. But yeah, the subject of the blanket, it was found on a tree branch on Lansdowne Station Road in the evening of day 1. It was used, or the other part of the blanket was used for a window or a door at the home, and it was thrown out. And this one just ended up on a tree, I guess. But yeah.
Interesting. And so you guys, I understand one of you took a photograph of the blanket and took it back to Malaya for identification?
Yes, Hayden and I did. Yeah.
Okay. And then she said, yeah, it is. And so you called the police who went and, I guess, collected it?
Yeah, no, the police were already down searching that area, but it was in such an open spot that cops were already down there and it wasn't seen earlier on. So it's just all a little mysterious, you know?
Families brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a partial piece of a blanket, which the mother says she believes it belongs to her daughter. It's just off the road here.
And this is where the blanket was found. You can clearly see it was visible from the road. It's like 15 feet from the road. Maybe not even. Yeah, a little more than 15 feet. And this is the exact branch.
4 is when they found the pink blanket that was Lily's. That was a portion of the blanket, correct?
Yeah. I'm not sure on the exact time on that either. It would have to be after 4 because the school bus goes up there around 4 o'clock.
Gotcha. And
Because that school bus, it goes up and it actually goes up and turns at my Uncle Ron's house, which is about 500 feet past where the blanket was found.
Gotcha.
So, and the bus usually goes up there, and the bus usually makes its way up there around, I don't know, 3:55, between 3:55 and like 4 o'clock. Yeah, the buses do have cameras. When they looked at the footage from the outside of the buses, the blanket was not there.
Interesting. And it went both directions, correct? It went.
Yeah, they go both directions. They had multiple buses.
And it was not seen at 3:55, 4 o'clock when the bus passed.
No, they said they did not see it on any camera footage from the buses.
Okay, all right. And the other half, right, was found in the garbage.
I believe so. I wasn't back at the house for that to know that, but that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, that's what Logan said. And yeah, so.
Which is really peculiar, right? Like, how, if the blanket was put in the garbage, how did it get out of the garbage and half of it get into a tree, right?
And I mean, quite a ways down the road, like down the paved road from where they lived, up a dirt road, a good at least mile or two. So yeah.
Early in the investigation, when police found a scrap of blanket on a nearby road.
I called it into RCMP when I realized there was a piece of a pink blanket found.
A piece of blanket was also seized from a garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martel says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
I mean, it's mysterious as it is because the distance from the garbage bin to where the blanket was found is almost 1 kilometer. I was actually told there was a piece of a pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket? Like, and I put 2 and 2 together. I ran out to the garbage bin, and I seen that there was a hole ripped in the bag, and clearly there was somebody who went into the garbage or something went on with the garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because usually when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
That's interesting. Now, the pink blanket, when they told you about it, did they show you a picture?
The piece of the blanket? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So they just told you they found a piece, and you went to the garbage bin. And
Yeah.
where in the garbage bin was the bag that had the other part of the blanket? Was it towards the top, in the middle,
there
the
was,
bottom?
These were like large industrial-sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And Mom would always yell at me, you know, don't put so much garbage in one bag, because I would always make the bags like really heavy, right?
Okay.
And
So I had the blanket was in a garbage bag, but there was another garbage bag that was inside, right? So it was like double bagged.
Interesting.
And you could see I keep wanting to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it and pulled something out, but it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything like that. So
was the trash bag in the bottom of the can or on top of like all the other trash?
It was the garbage bag, that one big garbage bag. That was like a 60-pound garbage bag. And it was that was the only bag that was in there.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't any other trash on top.
No, there was nothing else piled on top of it or underneath it.
So if somebody opened the bin, that's the first thing that they would see.
Yeah, they would be able to see the pink blanket in there. Yeah.
Okay. And so it seems like in the documents that it alludes that they showed you guys a picture and that you guys confirmed it. Was that, if you didn't see a picture, do you know if Malaya did?
I'm not sure if she did or not. I have no idea.
What's interesting is that Malaya's sister found this blanket along with 2 other family members the day the children were reported missing in the afternoon. Then Daniel suggested that the people who found the blanket planted it. So I spoke with Malaya's sister, Haley Ferdinand, who found the blanket, and she denies having planted anything.
We most certainly did not. And that's on everything I have, the person I am. I would not do that in the midst of to obstruct a case for missing children, regardless if they're related to me or not. I would never. So
why do you think Daniel is suggesting that you planted it? He told that to me as well.
Probably because I was the one that was hot on his ass the whole time we were there.
Okay.
And he didn't like me from the get-go when I got there because he would not speak to any of Malaya's family when we showed up to help the search for Lilly and Jack. He'd put his head down. He would ignore us. He would walk away from us. He wouldn't engage in conversation, and I kept at him. I was there for Jack and Lilly, and I'm still here for Jack and Lilly.
The RCMP announced Friday it's bringing in cadaver dogs.
When you call cadaver dogs in this late, it's for one reason is because they are most effective when they're looking for decomposition. 2, where are they looking for decomposition and why? What information do they have that takes them to that particular position?
We know it's going to take time. We wish it'd be faster, but we have to be patient.
Daniel Martel has been asking RCMP for months to call in cadaver dogs to search for his 2 missing stepchildren. Now the time has come. RCMP say 2 dogs will come to Nova Scotia from British Columbia to conduct the specialized search. So what does this say to you? Because, I mean, they are dogs searching for human remains.
Well, I know that it's going to be really hard work now that there's so much vegetation in the woods, but I'm pretty happy that they're going to be able to do it. I even hope that they bring more than 1 dog if they have access to more than 1 dog.
So what are you happy about? What do you hope this will bring?
I would just like to see maybe the social media speculation theories and accusations, maybe they're not going to stop, but slow down, because at this point they're getting ridiculous.
So are you thinking that the dogs will go in there and won't find anything?
I know for 100% they won't find anything. I mean, that's probably why they waited this long to do it. It's just to keep the public informed, I guess, that they're hard at work.
Do you think it will rule things out?
Yeah, I think we'll rule a lot of things out. Rule out that the RCMP are, working hard, and there's no human remains on the property.
Is there any piece of you that's preparing for the fact, like, what if they do find something?
No, because I didn't do anything. I know Malaya didn't do anything. I know my mother didn't do anything. Those are 3 people on the property. I mean, after the polygraph exams, they should have known right there. We didn't kill any of the kids, or we didn't kill the kids.
So why do you think this step is necessary?
Well, it's just rules out one and brings the book a little bit closer to being closed. I mean, one chapter at a time.
Dogs that are trained to detect human remains were in the community on the property where the children went missing. What did they find?
Well, they did not find or signify any, identify any scent of human remains during their search. So they searched the property around the family's home. They searched the area where we found the pink blanket, the pipeline area, and the intersecting trails, and they didn't. The dogs didn't indicate on any scent of human remains during those searches.
How many days were the teams on the ground?
I believe it was around 3 days, and they searched roughly 40 kilometers of area during that time.
Did one of the handlers question the children's stepfather, Daniel Martel?
I can't comment on what was said between Mr. Martel and the dog handler. That's really not something I'm aware of or have knowledge on, and I don't have any comment there. So,
would it be common practice for a dog handler to question people who are involved in investigation?
There may be circumstances. I mean, I'm not sure that there's strict protocols on talking or not talking. I mean, when a dog handler, and maybe not protect this circumstance, but if you show up somewhere and you need to use a dog, you would probably gather some information to help you get that started. So there could be reasons for sure for PDS to be talking to somebody at the scene to get the information they need. But again, there's no solid and fast rules on that. So yeah, there may, they may talk to people.
What happens now?
Now we continue on with our investigative work. Nothing stopped from the second day of this investigation when major crime took carriage and began collating and sorting and organizing the information and planning the investigation. This is not something that we stop working on. We've got 2 young children, Lilly and Jack, who've gone missing from their home, and it is a Missing Persons Act investigation still at this time. But we need to find answers to that. There's a lot of legitimate public concerns about how 2 children go missing and we can't find them, so we're going to continue until we have answers.
I actually got back from a visit with my daughter, and I come home and the dogs were already, on scene, and they were there for about an hour before I got there. I didn't know the exact day when the arrival was going to happen. It was even a surprise to me, but at the end of the day, everything's ruled out there, and I hope this is speculation, turns elsewhere. They're there, and then, I walk up, greet them, and meet them for the very first time. It's like, can I come close to you and the dogs? And he said, oh yeah. And then, investigators were there, or one investigator, and, had a conversation with him, and they said, look, yeah, we're going to do the property. I said, perfect, let's do every square inch. And that's when it began with, where do you think we should search? And in my mind, these guys are the best. They're supposed to be the best. They should have mapped the terrain, looked at satellite imagery, and found every single speck on that property that needed to be searched. And they should have had, better coordination with reviewing those maps and people involved from the start with search and rescue to determine areas they need to search. But I said, you're welcome to do it anywhere. They did inside the house, they did, everywhere, vehicles, they did everything they could. And they ran from one side of the house to the other, waiting for the dogs to, bark or pick up a scent, and nothing was located. Same with all the property. There was no indication of anything. They did up the road, they did the blanket site, they did pipeline where the boot print was found. They exhausted every single area within Lansdowne.
Yeah, the pipeline trail right here where we're standing.
They did. They spent every hour they could searching, not planning or anything like that. They were boots on the ground, just doing whatever they could.
You were mentioning that you had a bit of a tense reaction with one of the dog handlers. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it was a little bit heartbreaking and saddening to hear what the words that came out of his mouth. And for me, all I was trying to do was ever help. That's all I've been doing is cooperating, and to see that and hear that, it was pretty saddening. He said your Thursday and all the way leading into Friday morning, there's not enough detail. And I said to him that Thursday was just an ordinary day until I woke up on Friday morning. And that's when life changed. There was nothing like life changing on Thursday. It was a normal day. So therefore, there was nothing detailed that needed to be remembered that day until Friday morning.
So he was mentioning something along the lines of something happened Thursday night, and your story isn't matching up?
Yeah, well, not just matching, it didn't have enough detail for him, personally. And then that's when I asked him, do you know anything on the case? And he said, not really. I've seen you on the news once. And that kind of alarmed me, or, shocking, because you're having somebody that's trying to get you to admit to something and they don't know any details. So therefore, my Thursday didn't have any details. Your knowledge of the case didn't have any details. So you shouldn't try to force something on me without knowing any of the background.
Did he make any accusations at you?
Yeah, he did. He said that Thursday didn't have enough details and we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. And I asked him, what are you talking about? I just ran through whole Thursday and Wednesday with you. We just spent the last 20 minutes talking. And there's not enough detail because I thought it was an ordinary day. In the end, cadaver dogs were there, they went through, and the story continues.
The mother of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, who have been missing for over 5 months, released a statement, a written statement. I'm going to read what she had to say for those who didn't see this yet. As a mother, I love my children more than life itself and feel so heartbroken not being able to hold my 2 children, Lilly and Jack, kiss them, breathe in their scent, or tuck them into bed, dress them, wake up to their sweet smiling faces. The longing I have for them to come back home to me is a greater feeling that I could never imagine feeling or put into words how I am feeling. There is not one single day, minute, or second that goes by that I am not thinking of them. I walk into a store and all I see is things they love that I want to get for them when they come home. The candy they like, the clothes they wear, the toys they love. All I see is them. I so desperately just want them home safe and sound, back into my arms where I will never let them go. I am truly traumatized not being able to hear the sweet sound of their voices, their laugh when they would sing a Gabby's Dollhouse song that now only makes me cry when I hear it, because all I hear is Lilly and Jack singing along. Not being able to breathe in their scent when I embrace them tightly. I don't want these moments to be memories. I want my babies back home, my Lily Mae and Jackie. The pure pain I suffer of just not knowing where they are has impacted my life and Meadows and my family in the most devastating way. Life feels extremely hard to keep going. With no answers, it is just pure lostness. I can no longer feel at home anymore. No matter how lost I feel, I have not ever given up hope that my children will be returned. I have all of the faith and hope that I will see them again. Please, anyone with information, come forward. Please do not be afraid to use your voice to help bring home Lilly and Jack. Even the smallest details are crucial. She goes on to say, I will never stop searching for my children until they are found and brought home safe and sound. Someone somewhere knows something, so please help bring my babies home. To the incredible volunteers, searchers, investigators, and compassionate strangers who have stood beside us, thank you. You've shown me that love, kindness, and compassion still shine even in the darkest times. Everything you've done has not gone unnoticed. Thank you with deepest gratitude, Malaya Brooks Murray.
For the first time, we're hearing detailed accounts from neighbors who were awake in the quiet hours before 4-year-old Jack and 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan disappeared. According to court documents, neighbor Brad Wong told police he heard a loud vehicle coming and going 3 or 4 times after midnight and into the early hours of the morning. Wong said his house is at an elevated position from the children's home on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne, and he could see vehicle lights over the treetops. He said the vehicle would drive off in the distance, and he could hear it stop and then return. He said it remained in earshot the entire time. Another neighbor, Justin Smith, told RCMP that at 1:30 a.m., he heard a car turn around by the railroad tracks near the area of Gairloch Road and Lansdowne Station Road. He said it made a noise, then the vehicle was quiet for about 2 minutes, then drove off towards Lairg Road. Smith told police he later spoke with Wong, who informed him the vehicle was the children's stepfather, Daniel Martel.
The court records also detail Martel's account of the evening. He told police he went to bed fairly early and didn't wake up until light the next morning.
The night they were seen on camera, they were seen on Thursday. They were seen at Dollarama, and then we went to Acropole. You know, we got some food and then brought it home. When we got home, it was a little bit before 4 o'clock, and I went outside and helped Mom work on the fence. It took me a little while to find all my tools and stuff, but then, you know, after I got my drill and everything else, and I helped Mom work on the fence for quite a few hours until it was just coming on to dark. And then after it was dark, I came back inside. What I remember, the kids were sleeping, but when you're looking back in time, Daniel, it's hard to, you know, kind of remember everything and get a feeling for how the night really was, because it just seemed like a normal night, right? When I came inside, I thought the kids were sleeping, and I could have swore they were sleeping, but it says in the documents that she had them up till 9 or 10 at night. I don't remember them being up that late, so I'll tell you that. I went to bed actually a lot later than Malaya did, I think. Like, Malaya was already asleep when I came into bed. I remember flicking on the light for the kids at 12 at night, or a little bit after 12, so a little bit after midnight, and both of the kids were fast asleep under the covers. So, but I never get a chance to see what clothing they were wearing because the blankets were up on them, right?
Did you see the backpack?
I don't remember the backpack, the strawberry backpack, but that was always in Lily's room, right?
Okay.
Like, that was always in Lily's room. Like, she never took it out of there, right? That was her backpack it wasn't a school backpack. I know a lot of people think that, but she actually had a pink LOL doll, like for school, and that was her. And the backpack she ended up taking was the one that we bought for when she took to her grandmother's, right? Which would be Cindy Murray.
So when she goes on trips, this was the backpack for trips.
Yeah. She didn't take her school backpack. She took her one that she takes on trips.
Interesting.
Trips or overnight trips or to go to visit, she would use that backpack.
The document said the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, told police she went to bed around 9 p.m. She said Martel stayed up and she doesn't know what he did. And in a phone interview Friday, Martel said no one from the family left the property that night and they did not have any visitors. Brooks Murray has not responded to our request for comment.
Jack's 5th birthday. It's something that he should be here to celebrate in person. We shouldn't be where we are. So it's very important that we had the time to do this.
40 people gathered outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment to hear poems, speeches, and shed tears for the 2 young children, all while holding on to hope.
Both of them deserve better. We deserve answers. They need to be brought back home safe. It's been 6 months, too long.
I didn't miss the first vigil, and I would definitely not miss this one. Definitely not on Jack's birthday. It's an important date for everybody over the last 6 months, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Brooks Murray did not attend the vigil. Her family says she quietly marked Jack's birthday with her mother, and gifts from the vigil would be delivered to her. The children's paternal grandmother, Belynda Gray, says she appreciates the outpouring of support.
This is my birthday promise to Jack. Every step is a prayer whispered to the wind, a hope that a search may help our hearts to mend. We hold steadfast the pictures of Lilly and Jack, seeking answers to bringing them back. Our loves like ribbons spread throughout the woods of Lansdowne with searchers about. With every sunrise I renew my vow to find their sweet faces, not knowing how. No distance or time can sever this hold. The story of our love has yet to unfold. Our spirits are a compass with a needle set true. It points to our grandchildren, and if I may, it points to you. We will walk every trail, every creek and river, with this grandmother's love and with all of you. Our search for Jack and Lily will always push through, for a grandparent's promise is etched in the soul. And I'll search for our grandchildren, no matter the toll.
People have beautiful hearts, and I know if we give them a chance, everybody can help. And everybody wants to help. So I think this is beautiful.
Everything's been searched at this point, so I think everyone's just looking to, what's the alternate, what could have happened to the kids other than being in the woods. I'm just trying to keep the public informed as much as I can. And I don't know if I'm the best voice to be speaking for Lilly and Jack, but, I'm still going to do it anyway and for the kids. People are still standing here in the cold just, for Lilly and Jack, especially Jack on his birthday.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. Our hearts continue to go out to Lilly and Jack's family and their loved ones, as well to all the community. To the community members, including all of you, thank you for being here tonight. I know you care deeply about these children, and so do we. This case has truly affected many, as is demonstrated here this evening. I can assure you that we have not wavered in our commitment to determine what has happened to Lilly and Jack. Our major crime investigators are working every day to determine the circumstances of their disappearance.
In the woods where shadows lay, Jack and Lily went to play. On a rainy May afternoon, now we whisper hope soft too. Echoes of laughter fill the air, but where are they? We stand in prayer. Oh, Jack and Lily, where have you gone? We'll hold on tight through this endless storm. In our hearts forever you'll stay. With every prayer we say, you'll win.
A last-ditch effort before winter hits for any sign of 5-year-old Jack Sullivan and his 6-year-old sister Lily. These volunteers split into 6 groups and spent a day in the woods of Lansdowne.
This will be our side. We're going to follow it way down. Eventually, we're going to turn the river and we follow it up past Lansdowne Lake.
It's sad, very sad, but it's been 6 months and we need some type of closure to this case.
Teams did find a few items of interest.
And it looks like it has like underwear, like it's been burned, and it's the t-shirt. So it's a unique design. So we took a picture, we sent it to the RCMP. They then spoke to family and they said that it's not something they recognize.
Volunteers also came upon a child's bicycle, a blue blanket, and an old geocaching kit with the children's stepfather's name in it.
That's why it's so important to relook, like especially before snowfall, and have a third party come and just take a peek. Not that we're no better than anybody else, it's just having a third party come look is so important.
At times, it got tense. One property owner refused entry where there are signs for no trespassing.
Why are you trying to stop us from finding them?
You have what?
We weren't in the
Two
field.
very dangerous animals. What animals are they? 2 rams.
A roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved. The RCMP says none of the items found are relevant to the investigation, but with everyone feeling unsettled, the volunteer group now plans to bring in cadaver dogs to do continued targeted searches this week.
My name is Dan Morrow. I'm the Criminal Operations Officer here in the province of Nova Scotia.
Across Morrow's 33 years of experience as a police officer with the RCMP, he says one case has stood out to him, the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan.
It's extremely rare. I've never seen it across my career. But while it's rare, what's the part that isn't rare is the complexity of the case, like why it's taking so long, because these investigations have to be done in a methodical approach. Anyone who has children, obviously, from a parental aspect, it deepens that level of concern internally. What happens if it was my child, for instance? Been 1,030 tips received, and approximately 86 formal interviews have been completed within the investigation as well. That's sitting down, interviewing a person, not something that's a casual conversation while we bump into somebody along the street. It's a sit-down, structured interview, obtaining what the person knows firsthand. There's also been roughly over 8,100 functioning videos that have been actually reviewed by the team that's supervising the investigation. So there's been a lot of work conducted behind the scenes. It's been documented that 7 people have completed polygraph examinations. All 7 were found to be not lying.
I think we're going to have to dive into some questions so I can, really try to answer that, because, there's so much. But what I can say is my blood was taken or drawn, and they got a few drops in my blood for that, to check my DNA, because my DNA is obviously going to be on the blanket. But I can't really disclose, and I'm pretty limited on what I know about the blanket at this moment.
Do you know of anyone else who had their sample taken?
No. I was never disclosed any of that. At this point, I'm very cooperative, and when they did up the paper for consent on my DNA, they fill in the paper, May 2nd, missing persons case for Jack and Lily, and then they go through it, and then there's the box checked for criminal involvement, no criminal involvement, and they check the box for no criminal involvement, and I put my signature on it, and there was my consent. But I've known since the start that I'm 100% innocent. But to see investigators say that to me before, but then also, see it visually with my own eyes, it was a big thing.
Do you have anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No.
Did you kill them?
No.
What do you think happened to them?
At this point, I'm completely just not sure. I've thrown speculation out in the past and, narratives that I think, or theories that, what I think may have happened. But at this point, I have to just go with what the RCMP say, because they have so much information, they have more resources, and they're the ones that are fully invested in this case. They have the, intellect and professional training to do what they do. It's been 8 months, and I know a lot of people think that, the kids are not alive anymore, but I hold out hope 100%. I'll always hold out hope every day, because there's no reason not to.
Do you think it's criminal?
Yes. But it will not pivot to a criminal case or a criminal investigation from a missing persons until they have a suspect and they're going to be investigated and then, formally charged.
There have been allegations from Malaya's friends and family that you were abusive to her. Were you?
No.
They said that when she moved in with you, she cut off all contact with them and you monitored her phone.
She also monitored mine. We both had the same passwords on her phone, and her friends, she blocked her friends on my phone and she blocked them on her own phone.
So how would you describe your relationship before the children went missing?
Yes. I don't really want to talk on that, because I don't really want to talk on too much to do with Malaya. It's best that we don't.
Okay. Newly released court documents provide a closer look at the relationship between their mother and stepfather. Malaya Brooks Murray and her boyfriend Daniel Martel were together for about 3 years before Jack and Lily disappeared on May 2nd. all of them lived in the Lansdowne trailer where the children were last seen. According to the documents, Martel told police they'd been fighting about money. His mother also referenced financial difficulties. The new records disclosed that in an RCMP interview, Brooks Murray said Martel would try to block her, hold her down, and once he pushed her. She said he would also take her phone from her when she tried to call her mom, which would sometimes be physical and hurt. Martel provides a different account. He told police their relationship was good and they had ups and downs like any other couple. He said they would yell at each other when they were fighting, but there was no physical violence in their relationship.
Have you ever tried to block Malaya, hold her down, or push her?
No, all those allegations are false. And as I said, it was just to paint me in a bad light. That's basically why there's all of those allegations of abuse came out. I never have physically abused Malaya.
RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon confirmed the nature of their relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation.
Are any of the children's family members considered suspects in this case?
I wouldn't say anybody's a suspect. Again, we continue to gather information and whatever evidence that we are able to find, and we'll make our decisions based on that. But we are not in a position to really comment on suspects or anything like that at this time.
I've been, trying to keep the public up to date as much as possible. My image hasn't changed at all. It was always Daniel's evil, Daniel's a monster, and with that painted narrative, the public automatically will just jump to the belief of guilt. When they do have a suspect and they dive into investigating that suspect or group of individuals, then it will pivot to a criminal investigation at that point.
We learned Daniel Martel, the stepfather of Jack and Lilly, the missing Sullivan siblings from Pictou County, faces charges not related to the children.
The arrest actually happened at the start of this week. So police arrested 34-year-old Daniel Robert Martel of Lansdowne on Monday, January 26th, around 11:30 in the morning. He is facing 3 charges, serious charges: assault, sexual assault, and forcible confinement. Court documents say the victim was an adult female, and the alleged incidents occurred on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne on December 1st, 2024. That's about 6 months before the children vanished from their home.
They were very sweet kids. Lily's laughter, she was so exciting to be around. She was full of life.
Cute.
Jack, he would love his dinosaurs and he loved his little zoo animals, and he would play with those for a long time, and he would come to the barn and he loved to see the horses, and yeah, they had a lot of fun. They were fun kids.
What was Lily like?
Very girly. She loved to scream. She got excited easily. Loved her dolls. She was just very outgoing and cutest little thing. Jack loves his dinosaurs. Loved to play with his toys. Jack was more quieter. He was on the quieter side, but he loved to play with his sister. He'd get annoyed with his sister when she took his stuff, but they get along pretty good for the most part. Happy kids, very happy kids. Always excited. They were always clean. They loved their mom, and they loved each other. They fought, but they loved each other.
And I remember they always wanted to be held by Malaya as well.
Both very close with her.
Yes, very close with her.
I love you. I love you.
How is she doing?
Not great. I've noticed a significant decrease in her weight since the kids have gone missing. She's just trying to take it day by day.
Do you have a favorite memory that you think of?
Going to the wildlife park, baking with Lily. She loved to bake because she liked to lick the frosting off the spoon. Just doing a lot of outdoor stuff with them, taking them places.
We went to the beach a lot. They liked the water. They played with the sand, and we would make little sand castles with their baskets, and we had a Easter egg hunt at my place, and they were running around laughing, and I miss them calling me Nene, and, you know, we'd color and they play on their little tablets. I miss everything.
Wonder every day where they are.
It's just a nightmare. I can't describe it. It's mental torture to figure out, like, how come it's taking so long. Hope that they're checking every avenue and doing as much as they possibly can.
What's not adding up for you?
The whole case. The different stories we've heard over the last several months. You know, if you don't know what happened, then there shouldn't be any stories. It should be, I don't know. And yeah, that's very frustrating when you have so many different people telling so many different stories. It makes it hard to figure out what really happened.
Danielle Martel appeared in Pictou Provincial Court on Monday on charges of sexual assault, and forcible confinement. The charges against the 34-year-old Martel involve an adult complainant whose identity is protected by a publication ban. At the hearing, Martel stood with his hands clasped at his waist and stared forward as he appeared before the judge. Bill Gorman is the Crown lawyer handling the case. He says Martel will return to court later this month.
To confirm the formal retainer by Nova Scotia Legal Aid and to deal with the issue of election and/or plea, depending upon the level of court that's elected to.
Martel left the courthouse quickly and did not speak to the media. His next court appearance is set for March 30th. This pink blanket is one of the only pieces of physical evidence in the mysterious disappearance of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. And now it's the subject of a second round of police polygraph examinations.
It was in an odd spot, an odd position. It was just drooped over a branch on a thin tree. It was nothing that, it definitely wasn't stuck in there. It was just there.
Since then, family members on all sides have suggested online and in the media that it was planted. Ferdinand was asked about that in a polygraph examination on February 20th.
It was, did you plant the blanket in the tree? Did you place the blanket in the tree? Did you put the blanket in the tree? And did you leave the blanket in the tree?
Ferdinand says she answered no to each question and was told at the end that she passed. The force also confirmed the blanket remains at the RCMP National Forensic Lab. The children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, confirmed to CBC News that she underwent a second polygraph test and passed. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, did not respond to a request for comment. For Ferdinand, her polygraph was simply another box to tick in the pursuit of finding out what happened to Jack and Lilly.
It hurts the longer time goes. It's, you know, we just want answers and we want Lilly and Jack home, but we don't have that. So every day is just another day until we get those answers.
Volunteers are taking to the woods once again, searching for clues.
We're just devastated that there's still no answers after a year. I can't really put it in words how hard this has been on myself and my family.
The lack of answers is what has brought searchers back to Lansdowne, including Brooks Murray. The children's mother has stayed mostly silent over the past year amid harsh criticism from online sleuths. But she decided to partake in this latest public search to show her support and appreciation. This small boot print was discovered near where the boot print cluster was found, and RCMP are reviewing it. Volunteers have vowed to keep searching these woods.
2 children missing is just bizarre. Whether you're looking at wandering, misadventure, abduction, accidental death, if you're looking at those 4 scenarios, it's uncommon for 2 children to be together in either of those 4 situations.
Cindy Murray, who did not want to appear on camera, says this latest search was tough for her family.
As you walked through those woods, were Jack and Lilly on your mind? Jack and Lilly are always on my mind. Always.
Always on her mind, and on the minds of so many.
that note, we will start from your left to the right. We'll limit each reporter to one question, one follow-up. If there's time after that, we'll go back around for another round of questions. Thank you. Rob, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming today. As you can see by our news release, we don't have new information to put out there. Our investigators continue to actively drive this investigation forward and follow up on every tip and lead that we receive. I will answer a few of your questions.
Long investigation now, still not much information. Do you feel there are people out there that might be able to give you information that can lead you somewhere?
Oh, absolutely. We really would like the public to consider, if they do have any information, real factual-based information, to please contact us at the numbers provided. We seek anything we can find so that we can follow up and find new leads, new avenues to find information.
What sort of level of new information or new discovery do you need for this to potentially move from a missing persons case to something else? Potentially something criminal or suspicious?
Sure. It's hard to really put a label on what exactly we'd need, as you can imagine. But we just need facts and evidence that support criminality. And once we have that, we make all of our decisions based on the evidence that we collect. Once we have that evidence, then we'll move forward in those areas if that's appropriate.
What can you say to tell the public or convince the public that what you're doing, that you're making progress, if you're making progress at all over these last 6 months or so?
Ever since this began, the RCMP has been actively engaged in pursuing the answers as to what happened with Jack and Lily. This is a critical question for our community when 2 young children go missing and we have no answers. So we've not let up the steam, and we won't. Our investigators, our parents, as I've said before, we're families, and we want answers as much as everybody else. We haven't stopped and we won't.
Do you believe Jack and Lily are alive or dead?
I think I've already said that before. I think it was my first press debrief.
People are still searching.
Yeah, I know, and well, it hasn't changed. I think the chances that Jack and Lily are alive are very slim. So.
I want to thank you for joining us. Your son is the biological father of these 2 beautiful children. First off, how are you doing this morning?
Keeping busy. I have a lot of preparation for tomorrow's 1-year mark, so it's pretty busy this morning.
What will you be doing on the 1-year mark?
We're having a rallying of asking for more answers, pushing for justice.
The RCMP gave an update yesterday. The line that stood out to me is they have no answers. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Disbelief that 2 children living on a property with 3 adults and nobody knows what happened to them.
How do you hold on to hope, Belynda?
I don't know that I hang on to hope. I hang on to hope that we'll find them.
You started a campaign earlier this year. You're trying to raise money for additional court costs, for additional searches. Tell us a bit more about what you're planning to do with the funds.
The initial funds were raised because I am going for guardianship, that if the children are found miraculously alive, I would like to be able to have a voice and to say where they live, to make sure they don't go back to what they were living. If they're not found alive, I would like to know I have a say into what is done afterwards.
Belynda, what has been the hardest part of this year?
Not knowing anything.
I know it is a really challenging conversation to have, and I appreciate you having it with us here this morning, Belynda. Thank you so much for your time, and we are hoping along with you.
Not having answers at a year later of not being any closer to having answers. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand why we can't have some information. I get integrity of an investigation and understand that. But we could at least rule some things out.
We want answers. We want justice.
We're here to mark 1 year of not having answers. 1 year of there's still so many questions.
Frustrated, fed up. It's hard to believe it's been a year and we know as much as we knew May 2nd, 2025.
I want them to start demanding more answers, demanding more openness from our law enforcement. People have theories. I understand that because I have my own. So I do understand that. And I understand them wanting more fact-based evidence on if you've seen something or if you heard something. That is what they want. They don't want what people are guessing or assuming. So I do understand that. But I think they should be able to tell us a lot more than what they are without jeopardizing an investigation. I am so grateful and thankful the world has fallen in love with Lilly and Jack. And I don't have words to express that gratitude.
We continue to ask anyone who has specific fact-based information that could assist the investigation to come forward.
The public is no further ahead today other than speculation of what we should be helping with.
We're here to get answers. We need answers for Jack and Lilly. They are Pictou County's children. They are Nova Scotia's children. Evidently, they're the world's children. We know that investigations take time to complete and to get the details to figure out what happened. But what we are here for today, express the opinion to the RCMP and major crimes and saying that if you need our help and want our help with tips, we need to know what you need our help with. It's under my understanding that the grandmother on the mother's side is here too. I'd like to give her equal opportunity in turn if she would like to come up and say a few words. So Cindy, if you're here and you want to come up. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to give the opportunity. We all have to believe. We all have to continue on the same team. So here today, we're going to replace the memorial back here at the Sullivan RCMP office. And I would ask Belynda Gray and Cindy Murray and Cheryl Christine, friend of Malaya's, to come over and put the animals back down at the memorial and let Jack and Lilly know that we're all waiting here for them to come home. So now I'd like to call along the paternal grandmother. Ray is going to say a few words.
I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming. We are gathered here to mark the 1 year that my grandchildren, Lilly and Jack Sullivan, have disappeared. Lilly was just 6 years old. She is now 7. Jack was just 4 years old. He is now 5. They were just babies, playing in their make-believe world, playing games, exploring their surroundings. Now they're gone. No answers. Just gone. We are here because we want answers. We want justice. We need to demand better from our representatives, our institutions, and our law enforcement. We need more transparency and accountability. We as parents, grandparents, family, friends, as a community, we need to be the change that is needed. We need to stand united for Lilly and Jack because they deserve the truth. They deserve accountability, and they deserve justice. To those who know what happened, may the truth befall you. We are here because Lilly and Jack are a part of my family. They are loved, they are missed, I love them and I miss them. All of you caring people are here because you have grown to love them also. And for that, I am thankful. You have helped to keep their faces and their story out there. To all the searchers who have taken time out of their lives to scour the woods, the trails, you are appreciated more than words can say. You are heroes. We are standing for Lily Mae and Jackie Boy. We are standing for accountability. We are standing for justice, and we are standing for truth.
Lily and Jack are two beautiful children that should be running around right now. They should be playing right now.